Well, hello again, and here we go with Contact Report 87. 87 was translated by the DeepL translator. Corrections and improvements made by Catherine Mossman and Joseph Darmanin, and the contact person is Semjase. Okay, this took place the Wednesday, the 5th of October, 1977, at 14:45 hours. In other words, 2:45 in the afternoon. Semjase, you have examined the clearing under us very carefully. What interested you so much about it? Billy, Jacobus and my children observed last night after dark how some glowing object the size of a football had descended below us behind this range of hills and climbed up again after about 3 minutes, suddenly shrinking and quickly disappearing. Therefore, I have now looked back and made two observations that indicate that there must have been a beam ship down there. Some bushes and also the grass are depressed, but as if the ship had not landed directly, but only floated, whereby the greenery was probably only depressed by anti-gravity forces or something similar. On the other hand, I found a roe deer lying there for no apparent reason, dead, somewhat flattened. It seemed to me as if the animal had been pressed to the ground and thus pressed to death. I therefore had the idea that the animal got into the protective shield area of a ship and was pushed to death by it. Semjase, your powers of observation, deduction are admirable. That is exactly what happened. Billy, you know about it? Semjase, sure, because I myself was here last night to call you for another contact. I lowered my ship to the clearing and overlooked the grazing deer because it was a bit hidden between the bushes. So it got into the protective shield of the ship and was killed within fractions of a second, which is very painful for me. Therefore, I left quickly after the incident and came back today. I am really very sorry. Billy, I understand, but you should not worry about it. I am also very sorry about the animal, but one cannot reverse or undo something that has occurred. Semjase, sure, that is correct, but I should have been more careful, because I know that by redesigning the propulsion systems of our ships, those swinging waves that have frightened animals away of all kinds no longer appear. Billy, what if you were to then build some kind of apparatus or device that would generate these swinging waves? Semjase, such a similar device already exists, but it has not yet been used in my ship. However, this is not a device to scare the animals away, but it acoustically signals immediately when a life form endangered by the protective field is in the danger zone, whereby at the same time impulses automatically switch on a safety mechanism and bring the ship out of the zone endangering the life form. Billy, that is good. When will the device be installed in your ship? Semjase, I will arrange it today. I am so sorry about the animal. I was just too careless. Billy, come on, girl, be nice now, and do not think about it anymore. You cannot change it. Do you have an answer from the High Council? You, or at least Ptah, wanted to speak with them. Semjase, sure, the issues have been resolved. Besides, you are a perfect actor. Father and I, after the clarification of the issues, had a delicious amusement about the fact that we were deceived by your acting. But we ourselves were not able to recognize that you had deceived us and wanted to achieve a certain purpose, which you have now achieved according to our latest analysis. As the High Council explained to us, you had no thought of being really stubborn and simply throwing everything away and thus endangering the task. In truth, you have only claimed to us that you would do this, although you have not changed your mind and only wanted to hit those who are subject to jealousy. There was only the vague thought in you that you could go on strike with the jealous ones if they did not change their behavior. But you had already wisely anticipated and analyzed that through your harsh words those concerned would finally start to think about it thoroughly and to act properly, which then actually applied to the very end of your idea, whereby the damage was repaired before it was able to appear at all. This is an achievement to which we must pay tribute and to which neither my father nor I would have fallen for. Expressed in your language, I must say that only you can think and act so crazily. But your action was psychologically very good, and besides, it represented the shortest path you could ever take, even if it was extraordinarily extreme, which, however, is not a rarity with you. Billy, thanks for the flowers, but the fact that I often think and act extremely crazy is an old fact. Semjase, sure, I know that. Even if I often cannot understand your thinking and acting, it always leads to good and responsible success. Billy, but you can stop tying flowers now. Would you rather tell me when I can bring you the last piece, the central piece? Semjase, it is very difficult if you want to bring it to me. It would probably be better if I took it through the porter, in parentheses, transporter, in the course of next week. I will return it to you within 24 hours. Billy, like the helmet and the centerpiece? Semjase, sure. Billy, well, that saves me a lot of work, but what about the books? Semjase, I brought them for you. It is the usual literature you are familiar with, interspersed with many mistakes. Nevertheless, it contains several good values that could be used. In spite of the errors, there are good results which, according to my probability calculation, are between 50 and 56% true, according to which a reasonably good result can be achieved according to the models and descriptions of this literature. The missing and the erroneous can be found and recognized with a reasonably good introduction to the issues themselves, according to which an even more exact elaboration of results becomes possible, which is in a very high range with a probability of accuracy of about 78%, if the earthly measures are taken into account. Billy, thank you, girl. You have obviously gone to all the trouble. Semjase, I was happy to do it for you. Billy, then even more, my dearest thanks. But say now, what do you think of our weather? It's a real phone, F-O-E-H-N, phone storm, in parentheses, warm winds from the Mediterranean, end parentheses. And I can really enjoy such storms. Semjase, sure, but this weather causes many earthly humans very great discomfort, including you, even if you do not let anything show. I know, however, that your arm is very badly afflicting you with phantom pain. I'll stick a note in there. He lost his left arm in a bus accident in, I forget where it was, Turkey or somewhere. So she's talking about phantom pain from his arm that's missing. That sucks. But anyway, Billy, it is all half as bad because I've gotten used to it for a long time. Semjase, you know it is not only the getting used to it, it is controlling the malignant pain. In your place, I really would not know what I would do. Billy, that is no wonder, because you have overcome such evils for a long time. But here on the earth, with us earth humans, it is different. Many will now go crazy because of the phone, play crazy, kill themselves, and provoke countless accidents. Malignant aggressions, fears, and depressions are part of the daily routine in such times, which is simply incomprehensible to me because I cannot explain to myself what triggers all these things in humans. Thoughts alone cannot be the same as any physical complaints such as pain, etc. I have often thought about it and have come to the conclusion that these things must be triggered in the body itself or in some organs where through some processes one or more acidity levels probably get into disorder, sink, and thereby paralyze the resistance of the human being, which is then emotionally evaluated depressively or aggressively. I could imagine, for example, that the adrenaline level is one of these factors, If it decreases due to some unknown processes in the body and external influences, etc., whereby, as far as I know, the resistance sinks and decreases, while in a healthy body structure, etc., aggression is triggered. If the adrenaline level rises enormously and cannot be reduced to a normal level again quickly enough due to lactic acid production. So this would mean that the adrenaline level would have a certain effect when the level is lower than normal, as well as when the level is higher than normal. Surely there are other facts that you can explain to me during fawn weather? Semjase, I do not have enough knowledge of these issues to be able to give you a sufficient answer. But considering your interest, I will get an exhaustive answer and tell you at our next meeting. But according to what I know about these matters, your assumption may be correct. In any case, however, the correct control of the psyche and the willful mastery in a controlling form of all relevant factors is also important for human beings, which you are able to determine and exercise yourself. Billy, thank you, girl. I'm already looking forward to your answer because I am sure that I will receive several points in this regard, which will help me to solve some more problems in psychiatry and psychology. Semjase, special fields of knowledge of yours, of which you have exceptional knowledge. Billy, maybe. Semjase, you proved it another time at our last meeting when you completely, perfectly deceived my father and me knowingly to reach a certain objective, which you succeeded in excellently. This, and to be able to do it, requires an extraordinary knowledge and mastery of psychiatric and psychological facts. This ability and knowledge is unfortunately lost to us in relation to the earth human, for we are still not so far along as to know them as thoroughly as it would be necessary for us. We will have to spend many more years working thoroughly on these issues and making the necessary knowledge our own. But now, dear friend, I have to go because I still have other tasks to do. Billy, good. Could you maybe attach my moped and drop me off over there in Durstalen with it? Semjase, sure. So your vehicle is lifted up. It is good, we... ... Billy, hold on, girl. Fly slowly. I want to search the woods a bit. Semjase, as you like, but do not spend too much time on it anymore. Billy, a few minutes are enough, and I do not have any more questions. Semjase, well, then I would like to send you very dear greetings to all my friends, to whom I often direct my thoughts, but unfortunately there are only very few who are able to catch them in impulsive form. Billy, progress is also being made there. Semjase, sure. Did you find what you are looking for? We have reached our goal. Billy, certainly. You can let my devil hopper down. And now, bye and greetings to everyone else. Semjase, goodbye, dear friend. You have become very, very dear to me. Billy, girl, you... ... what? Goodbye, you devil thing. You have also grown into my heart quite well. Goodbye. Semjase, your words tell me everything more than enough. Billy, then I jump now, my child. Take care. ... Semjase, Major... ... So he'd already jumped into the chute to descend down to the earth, down to the ground, I'm assuming. It's kind of funny. He calls her his child. She's 300, and at the time, she was like 340 years old, I guess. Billy was in his 50s or 60s. But considering Billy's previous lives and whatever, Billy is quite a bit older than she is. Not in this life, but, you know, in the general scheme of things. Anyway, just kind of a funny thought. Anyway, that was Contact Report 87, and we'll get on to 88 when we get a chance. Talk to you later. Thanks, bye.